John Hawkins showed up in our country, telling us of a land filled with luxury. He said, black man, follow me to America. There you'll find more gold for your labor. Our foreparents were tricked onto his boat. Since that time we've been wrestling with the goat. We landed here in Jamestown, Virginia, 400 years to suffer. So my friend, it's easy to tell, white man heaven is black man hell. When the slave master wanted to have some sport, he would heap on our parents cruelties of the worst sort, burn them at stake, hang them on trees. His ears were deaf to our parents' pleas. Though you were pregnant, black woman, you pull the plow like a horse, like a dog, even a cow. He filled your womb with his wicked seed. His half-white children you were made to breed. Oh, my friend, it's easy to tell, white man heaven is a black man hell. So-called Negro, open up your eyes. Black man everywhere is on the rise. He has kicked the white man out of Asia, and he's going fast out of Africa. With every ounce of strength and breath, his cry is give us liberty or give us death. The whole black world has their eyes on you to see what the so-called Negro is going to do. So my friend, it's easy to tell, our unity will give the white man hell. God made a promise to Abraham, his seed would be a stranger in a foreign land. They would suffer and be afflicted 400 years, but he would come and wipe away their tears. Our God and Savior, Allah has come. He has declared the white man's day is done. He has given us a divine messenger, one prophesied to come. His name is Elijah. We now can stand up the whole world to tell. Our God has come to give us heaven and take the devil into hell.
Welcome, my beloved family. Just let me know if you can hear the sound from the mic clear enough. It's after midnight here in Accra, Ghana, West Africa. You all know I'm here, but I'm broadcasting on Rumble also, and I have to let them know that I got off the plantation for those who are watching. Anyway, this is going to be kind of a free flow. I sound a little hoarse, but I think my throat's just a little dry. I was dozing. I was busy today, but I said, you know what? Even though I was busy today, I'm going to wrap the day up talking to my family and sharing a few things that are on my mind. But just give me a second just to take a sip of this water. Thank you so much, Had Not the Son's Giant Game, and everybody else. Let me just go down the list over here and just get into the mood, because this is coming straight from the heart. This is not anything where I have statistics up and different things, but I'm going to share things that I've read loosely, and I will back them up on a different show across even more social media platforms where there are facts, not this stupid hearsay that many in America, and I spell it with 3 Ks, they like to say to us. We're going to put them in their place. And I love all of my family in America. I don't wish them any harm. Let's get that straight. But that love only extends to my people. After all we've done and all we've given to America, I have nothing left for the rest of them. I don't want nothing from them. Just leave me be. But I have no love for them because they didn't earn it. They earned, actually, if there are people who have some hate in their heart, hey, like I said, they earned it. They earned it because we were never done right. And this is not about them, but I'm going to get a little aim on them before we move on to the next. But anyway, Sister Oyala, welcome. Welcome. Thank you. Daryl Robertson. Yes, I'll add you in on LinkedIn when I get there. Sweet D, welcome. You caught another live. She's always saying, I missed it, but you caught another live. And Had Not and Sons. It was nice talking to you the other day, even though it was brief. We're going to get a chance to vibe. Giant Gain in the house. Much love. Midnight Green. Yes, Midnight Green. We got all the superstars here tonight. A few are missing, but you know, y'all never let me down. And I try to make it where it's something, you know, of quality that we can speak on. Queen Red Pill in the house. And at any point, anybody wants to come on in, I always say, hey, feel free to do so. If there's some enemies that want to come on over this side of the planet and get chewed up from Rumble, you want to come on YouTube, let me know, and I'll gladly drop the link there for you. You know what I mean? Hey, we got to do what we got to do. This is not about accommodating them, no. Reese, yes, and Sharina Lofton, how are you? Now, if I miss anybody after this, is because I'm in the zone, and I just let me drop that link in here early, just to have it out, and I will put it back again as it scrolls up because you know it's going to be a nice, healthy, intense chat room. MW in the house, yes. Oh, I got to get another sip of this water. I was talking a lot today, so I had a gazillion phone calls. I was talking. I was in the sun. I was just like, but I was getting stuff done, y'all. And y'all know what we're doing over here on this side of the world. Hold on. Nothing like hydration. I know I'll be taking breaks in a few minutes too because of that. But anyway, overall, especially from this vantage point, being here in West Africa, a place that many in America don't want us to come to and don't want us to understand how much freer we can be. And yes, there are issues here with the government. There are issues here with the people. But I'd rather deal with these issues with individuals that look like me as opposed to those bloodthirsty meat eaters who thrive on violence. You know, it was so funny to me the other day when we did our other Rumble show. And hello to those 3 who are watching. Let me know in the chat room if you want the link to come on over and talk. Hey, if you want to fight, we can fight. We can reason. We can reason. But it's the age-old narrative of you should be glad that we saved you from the savagery of Africa and brought you into the real civilization over here. You should be glad that we showed you how to live a clean life, how to live a fruitful life, how to live a gainful life. And to that I say, oh, really? Really? Why did you bring us over here to America? Because your back was too weak, like Minister Farrakhan said in the song that I played at the beginning. Why did you bring us over here? to build something for you. And with free labor and free land stolen from the natives who were there, we heard this before, but I have to lay it down because we have a few extra ears listening tonight. They can get mad all they want to because we're leaving the doors open so our conversation here can be heard a little further out. But they make it seem as though, or they feel as though they brought us somewhere better. So all I ask is that bringing us over to America to be lynched and our sisters to be raped, to be worked from early in the morning until late at night, to be tortured for no reason, to lose our culture and our connectedness to our original spirituality. When you shoved Christianity down our throat, we had to change our names. You made sons have sex with their mothers to break them. You, with your desires to go in places where only toilet papers are supposed to go, you took some of the strongest brothers and you took your little pink organ and thought you were doing something to humiliate. You cut babies out of stomachs. You cut heads off and kicked them around like a football. This is not something that happened one day. Imagine if one of us did one of those things once in a particular day. We would be sentenced to life in prison, wouldn't we? And this wasn't one day. This wasn't 1 year. This wasn't 1 decade. This wasn't even 100-year period, but several hundred years. And the mental trauma still goes on today, while we have to grin and bear it and go next to them on their jobs while they share with us their puppy dog smile, but they don't like us. But anytime that we don't have a good feeling toward them, we're wrong. Oh, you're racist. Oh, it's terrible. We had nothing to do with what happened to you people all of these hundreds of years. But you're damn sure benefiting from it right now. And with all of the head start that you had, I mean, you had a hell of a head start. And your country is collapsing. And you're the most hated country on the planet. The secret's out. It's been that way for a while, but the secret's out. The few allies that you think you have in NATO, they will turn their back on you when they see the wrath of the world coming after you. And it doesn't mean I'm predicting some nuclear mayhem, because the Chinese can shut down the internet. Other countries have technology far beyond those in America. And America says, well, we have the greatest military. Okay, let us see. Can you hear me? And thank you for waiting. I'll tell you just what happened. Just let me know if you can hear me, if everything is coming through clear. They did it again. You know, they're going to do it all the time. And Gifty. Okay, thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Anytime that happens, just hold tight while I disengage and re-engage. That's to shut things down. That's to discourage me. There is no way possible that, okay, you have power outages. That can very much happen. When that happens, I'll get on my phone. The sound may not be as good, but I'll finish what I'm speaking of. But this is a great example to show you that when it's a power outage, I tell you, but when the internet cuts off, no way. See, the internet over here in Accra, Ghana, and all of Ghana, I believe, and many African countries, it's not like you pay one price and you go the whole month. It's comparable to filling up a tank of gas, you know, and then when the gas runs down, before it runs out, you go top it off and you go pay more. Every time I get internet service, say, for example, if the equivalent of $100 does it for me, right? It's probably around 60, 70, 80, whatever. But because I do a lot of downloading and this is not an unlimited situation, you got to make sure that you have a lot, because every video after I'm done is physically downloaded and dispersed onto different platforms, right? So this uploading, downloading, look, my computers are always cooking something. It's like a stove that has 4 burners on it, or 3 burners on it for the computers, and there's always something going. The gas is going to run down, right? So exactly, Queen Red Pill, I just glanced over. Yeah, what's going to happen when the whole grid goes down? Look, we got to get our licks in while we can, put ourselves into position while we can, because like I was saying, that while we and many of us are still attached to America, when that place falls down, that's going to affect the whole world to a point. I'm not saying that everybody has to leave, but have something of your own to keep you surviving. Have a connection outside of the country. Have something beyond that place. Don't depend on America, because these politicians, they already got their bunkers set up to leave you on the surface for whatever's going on. When things start to happen, when the grid goes down, look, a couple of years ago, when I was in Orlando, Florida, driving the bus, I remember exactly where I was. I was in Universal Studios, and I started getting all of these phone calls, which I had on silent, but I felt the vibration. And as soon as I could pull the bus over, I mean, out of nowhere, I mean, something had to happen. So I called one of the individuals back. Well, actually, I just picked up the next call that came. And they said, Lance, did you hear? I was like, oh man, what am I about to hear now? YouTube went down. So many people were freaking out when YouTube went down. The internet was up, but YouTube was down. So could you imagine what would happen if the whole grid goes down? Not only just the internet, but all electricity, lights, everything that runs by electric is down, not just for a day, not just for a week, but months on end. Who knows? We are so dependent on the system right now. Many systems. See, it's cool to say the system and sound cool, like a YouTuber who wants to be known for having such a prophetic voice, or I want to be cool saying this stuff. But this is some serious stuff. Most of these damn YouTubers who get up on the podium and want to flex like they know everything, because I don't know everything, they won't be able to do a damn thing to help you. But going back to what I was saying, yes, mixed genre, Faves, Queen Red Pill, Cherry Ann, D. Ali, and of course, Gifty. Gifty, I'm glad to see you here. Yolanda Hurst, Willie Rivers. I missed a few people when everything shut down, so excuse me. Revolutionary 2, Who else? Did I miss anybody? Let me boy, I've been drinking so much water. I might have to go to the restroom soon. William Hancock, how are you? Diggs BTW7, what's going on? I'll take my eyes away. We're gonna get into this flow. Yes, my voice is a little hoarse. I might have to get up in a second and get some more water, but I'm gonna talk till the wheels fall off. But for all we've taken and still have to take in America, and these fools that I have to deal with their stupid comments that are not even anywhere near facts, but they want to make us the fall guys for everything that's bad in America. I saw some of the comments, and some of them were speaking about, the welfare mothers and the thugs that are shooting everybody up, shooting all these places up, and the welfare folks that they're just taking up all the money and resources, and you people are lazy. Well, if we are lazy, you are historically lazy, because you had to go to another country and steal off people from over there to come over here, and you're still stealing resources all over the world and fooling your young men and women to go into the armed services, to go over to other countries on a mission that most of them don't even know what they're there for. Why don't you send your children over there? But you know the dirty work that you've been doing and the dirty hands that you have, blood soaked. See, we hear this stuff so much that now as Black people, we tend to kind of reduce it because we hear it so much. But if you really, really think what was done and the pain inflicted by these barbarians, yes, expect the internet to probably cut off again. Just bear with me and have a chat with each other until I come back. It always happens this way. But a barbaric people, everywhere they went all over the world, they just messed up. They just messed up. Took the land, took the resources, raped the people. But they're always in their movies walking off into the sunset as the hero. And we as brainwashed fools look to the other to be able to have a better life, when it's quite the opposite. We've been turned against each other with this mind control mechanism called social media. But I have to say that those in this chat room are some of the most brilliant in any chat room I've seen on the internet. Because I peep in on sites sometime and different YouTube pages, not to peep and no, but to see what the pulse of what's going on and what's being discussed. And I tell you, I don't hang around too long because of the decadence that I see out there. You understand? It's crazy that we don't understand that we need to, and I don't say it anymore, unifying. I'm not saying that. The few of us that can and will. The main thing I want to say is that this protest and foolishness has got to stop. It's got to stop. Why are you going to them to fix the problems that we can fix in our own community? But we too big-chested, big-headed, butt on our shoulders. I ain't gonna unify with this one. I ain't gonna unify. Well, when things go back to the way they used to be and you start to feel some fire in your ass, then maybe you might consider letting some things go. Certain things that don't have any meaning in living a full life and living in this time, because look how fast things have come. Time is flying and we're moving into a time period where they have our destruction at the top of their list. And like I said, I was listening to a program the other day, and a lot of these Caucasians are going to get a real serious wake-up call. And in that program, I said, and I have to get those same statistics. Like I said, I'm going to do a show where I actually show it. So I'm just speaking about it. So you have to trust me until then. And I said this the other night, that the highest earners in America are Indian. We're not talking Native American, we're talking about Indian from India. Now, they don't make all of the money, right? Because they're a very small group. But within that group, their average is so much higher, the household income. And they don't do service jobs. They go into tech. So it's no surprise that the highest earners within their group. Now, collectively, since Caucasians will say that they are the majority, they have greater numbers, which may pull more money, but the average in their group is low. So behind Indians, I remember it was folks from Taiwan, China, Japan, Korea. I think Vietnamese were in there as let me catch this mosquito. No, that's a moth. I'll let him go. Any bloodsucker around me, I got to do away with him. That's probably why I would probably be incarcerated if I was in America, because mosquitoes ain't the only bloodsuckers around. You understand? So my thing is, we need to turn in on ourselves and change our path drastically. If you don't, you're going to die. You are not going to survive. All of this preacher talk that they talk and smoothing things over and giving you those emotional orgasms of hope for the next 6 days until you feel run down again. So you got to come back with the money to get the feel goods. They're not going to tell you the real deal. They're not going to tell you what's up. Let me tell you, Bill Gates, this is just something I want to drop in. Then I'm going to play a little music and run to the restroom and grab some more water, because I'm so full of water, I can work for the fire department right about now. Anyway, there's a company called Appeal, and it's APEEL. I think it's just the L. Yeah, APEEL. And maybe two peels, but I think it's one. Appeal. And that's a company that Bill Gates gave some grants to, that they're doing stuff to our fruits and vegetables right now in America. I don't know how it has circulated. It's been around for a little while. I'm not going to say it's been around for 10 years. This is something recently, out there, but it popped up on my screen, and Sister Gifty had shared it with me. The bottom line is that they're spraying what they call a natural coating from natural fruits. I forgot the name of it now. On that next show with the statistics, we're going to talk about it. And it covers the fruit with a coating that repels insects, and it helps it to retain water to remain plump. So if the insects don't get it, and it's a coating that stops other things from, making it rot, it has a longer shelf life then. See, but they say it doesn't affect how the nutrition hits us when we eat it. But with this thing they're doing, is this only for GMO food, or is this just, I don't know. There's so much. I just wanted to pass it along. Maybe you all wanted to Google it, but yes. Okay, right. Yes, had not. So informed. Yes, let me share this. I just had to. In 2012, Appeal was founded with a $100,000 research grant from the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation to reduce post-harvest food waste in developing countries. Why are they so concerned about developing countries, which they will call Africa a continent with developing countries? But they already have it over there in the United States. I saw the website today, right? But why do we have to be the guinea pigs over here for anything that they want to do? Why are they so concerned for us when they hate us so much? Why? And some folks will say, well, it's not all white people. Well, the ones who might be for us, they damn sure keep their mouths shut. So we don't look to them for anything. You can't trust them. Look at the history that they have with us. And look at the history that some of us have with us who side with them. We need to reduce our dealings as much as we can. We don't have time to sit there. Well, not all of it. Anytime. I can't even deal with that kind of conversation. I can't. So why don't you just open up all the windows in your house in the summertime and eat half a watermelon so all the sugar's in your blood, and let the windows open and say, well, not all mosquitoes are going to bite you. Wouldn't that be foolish now, wouldn't it? This is a time for drastic measures with our eating, with how we take care of our health, with how we deal with others, with how we understand that politics has done nothing for us, and those who look like us who benefit in politics are only gatekeepers. We're going to try to get this internet shut down again, right? They're only gatekeepers who are deceptive and know how to talk the talk because they grew up like us, but they're the sellouts, and they're very covert. And we're talking about information gatherers also, in those spirits that monitor you, like mixed genre phase was speaking about, monitoring spirits, and they work for the enemy. And remember, this is not just about surveillance. This is not just about government. This thing is on a spiritual level also, because they're trying to get there before or go higher than we can go, which we can go higher if we take our face out their damn Instagram on a decadent level. Nothing wrong with technology if you use it properly. But if we leave their liquor alone, leave their decadent lust alone, preoccupied with feeling good. You see, the two most intense emotions, pleasure and pain. We trying to run away from the pleasure. Run away from the pain, rather. Can't wait for the weekend, man. I just met this girl, man. I think we're going to get it on this weekend. Man, I'm going to get fucked up this weekend. Man, I'm going to sleep my ass off, man. We're going to eat food all weekend. And that's all you think about, but you don't think long term. While the very ground under your feet is falling apart. And we don't understand that. And they're leaving us this, lying to us. You got a dude named Joe Biden who don't even, what's the guy's name on Poltergeist? Kane? Edwin Kane, I think his name is Kane. Remember that white man in Poltergeist 2? You know? And the Lord is in his holy temple. Earthly thoughts be silent now. The white man came to the door, told him, let me in. And he had cancer at the time, so that made him look more ghoulish. He was pale and white, but that's Joe Biden, with that big broad hat. And remember Kane in Poltergeist 2 saw the girl in the mall, little girl. What a darling, what an angel. Well, Biden can't keep his hands off either. These little children, the Dalai Lama, talking about suck my tongue, and he's walking away free. Whoever the parents were of that boy, they need their asses whipped too. They didn't come, look, ain't no, we need to take him to court. We need to have him arrested. No, you're going to see the Dalai Lama get his ass whipped that day. These figures that they put up in front of us, and most of them are pedophiles. Most of them are decadent freaks. Ain't no bigger freak than me in this world. But I don't do things like that. You do things with consenting adults who have the right state of mind and who are of age. Ain't nothing wrong with being freaky. But that don't even qualify. That's sick. That is sick. They are sick. When you check their history, the men don't even like the women half the time. They getting it on with each other. That's their history. And then you'll have some of us, well, you can't really say that because we have homosexuality in Africa. Well, if the West has its way, you give it a few more years, all of us will be walking out here in dresses and running after men's backsides. It won't be me. And I tell you one thing, whoever's responsible for shutting off my internet, before you do it again, listen to this. From what I'm hearing, what I'm overhearing, what people tell me, it ain't going to be that easy. You might make a law or something, but guess what? Those who walk around talking about stuff with the rainbow. They hijacked the rainbow. They didn't really do that. But they're not going to like living over here. They're not going to like living over here. Because there's some people out here that ain't going for it. Just because they may be a little quiet, a little more laid back, these folks out here will do it. So you come on and sashay yourself on out here. Am I making threats? No, I'm just saying it's not going to be too comfortable. And yes, there are some over here. There are some. But that ain't going to work. That ain't going to work. I tell you straight up. And we're talking about people who are not just regular positions and statuses. There's a lot of things over here that go pop. Okay, that's all I'll say. But it won't be me. And then that's not going, you try to violate something that, yeah, you got a few of them over here following the Western ways. That's their stuff. That's their spirit. Because you got to understand that also that is a spirit. They done released so many spirits all across the land messing with CERN. They specialize in decadence. They got books for little boys to learn how to have sex with each other at single digit ages and girls to teach them how to lick each other. What the hell are you doing? And you say that we're savages and we're thugs? Make me a thug any day of the week, because I ain't gonna be no grown man trying to get with some young boy. I'd rather be a thug. But we know, according to FBI statistics, crime statistics, these people making these stupid ass comments, I guess they didn't take the time to read that the majority of mass shootings are done by angry white men. The majority. But as soon as one of us do it, they put us up on the news to show everybody, yes, see, those thugs. And I don't condone us shooting each other or doing things to each other, but I'll tell you this much. If we were gainfully employed, feeding our families, feeling like the men that we should be feeling like, because you know the agenda is to emasculate us and make us feel like less, while our woman runs over to the other side thinking that being with Ken or whatever they call him now, Brad, is the answer. He got morning breath too. He's alcoholic too. More drugs on that side, more than anything else. If they say that we're 13 or 14% of the population, we ain't the only ones using all them damn drugs in this country. The majority of the users are the majority of the population that won't be a majority too much longer. Yeah, you're right. You're right. They're domestic terrorists. That's true. And let them terrorize each other. If we're only 13 or 14% of the population, how could we be the only ones doing something? And they say black on black crime. We need to be talking about white on white crime. White on white crime. What happened to that? But they control the narrative in their media. You understand? So they're going to dress it a certain way. See, they never say that. It's always black on black. And we go and run and say the same thing. Well, you kill where you live. You murder where you live. If there's nothing but black folks around us for the most part, with the way our minds are wired to hate ourselves, then guess what? We're going to do stuff to each other, because the way our minds are wired, we just don't go after Caucasians like that. Because of that brainwashing over those hundreds of years, because that's massa. Yeah, white flesh is more valuable. Oh, he's walking through the hood, but you better not do nothing to him. One of us come through, or one of our sisters come through, no problem. We need to change that. What if, like Sister Soldier said back in the 90s, I think it was on a Phil Donahue show, that if we have all this black on black crime, what would happen if we changed it for a day to see how it feels to come after someone else. I'm saying it in a coded way because I just want to last a little longer on the show. This is what I'm going to do. I'm going to run to the restroom. I'm going to go grab some water and come on back. I'm not even, well, I don't want to play this particular tab here because I might not be able to shut it off. Yeah, it's only going to take a second. I'll be right back, y'all. Oh, no.
Oh, he tried it.
All right, I'm back. Sorry about that. Yes, I'm back. Sound check. I know I didn't touch anything, so I know everything is still okay. But I found out from a reputable source, a gentleman that does shows and he speaks on sports also, but he speaks on all relevant things that deal with us. It may be a boxing channel, but he's just like me. He's going to speak about certain things. He said he researched it, and I'm going to go back behind him and research it again. But he said today earlier that in the United States now, it's confirmed that 20% of the American population is mentally ill to some degree. And they said the two factors that helped to bring that to pass, which we had it before, but they said it amplified everything, is the combination of what many people say they or believe they caught, which made them have to take the jab. I'm not saying it, you know what it is, and social media. That with social media, we can don this false narrative and self-image and see, if you meet me in person, this is the way I am. That's me right there on the banner. No frills, a couple of razor bumps, need a couple of teeth up in my head. I'm not fronting. I'm comfortable in my skin. I've always been this way. I got close friends listening to me now. And they would come in here if I was lying about anything and say, hey, there's more to me than meets the eye anyway. But this is not about me. But 20%, if not more, but they're saying it. I got to contact him, and he said he checked out some statistics and stuff, and I'm going to start bringing other people that do shows and stuff that are strong in what they say. And I want to interview this brother because he has a lot of powerful things to say. But you see, when it concerns the locusts, the bloodsuckers, they'll hide their stuff. But any little thing happen with us because of the conditions that we're in, they want to blow it up. And their media is very selective. It's going to push a narrative that favors them. Now, I was exposed to a lot when I was a young man, from single-digit ages on up through my teens. But I have witnessed people that I've known from way back then, this particular family, They were kind of religious fanatics, but I remember when we went over to this white boy's house that we knew, because, you know, we were all young. This is elementary school. And we went there for a time to do some of a school project. We were brushing up on it. We just wanted to check it and make sure everything was all right. And so we went there. We stayed for about maybe an hour and a half. And then when it was time to leave, my friend who is black, we got halfway up the block and he's like, I didn't know white people live like that. And I said, like what? They're not rich. Because he's so used to his mother watching the soap operas. And you know, in the soap operas back in the day, all them jokers were rich, living in mansions. The lights were always on. They always drove the latest car. Nobody was impoverished until we had our sitcoms. You see? So it's perception, because they know that they're not living as well as they put it out there to be. And a lot of them say, well, you have no control over the media. Well, it favors you. So when I see a white man begging, coming over to, right now I'm not driving, but when I was driving, coming up to my car, and I'm looking right at him, like gave him the look, like, fool, you better not even come near this car. You have no excuse in a country that, because you have the complexion for the protection, what is your excuse as a white man that you got to beg? But you say all of us receive welfare when it's not. What is it, white farmers, the majority of them? And I'm quite sure the statistics have shifted a little bit, but it's only because you think that it's the majority of black people receiving welfare is because you see in some of the major cities, we're all clumped up together in some impoverished situation. And that doesn't mean all of us. So just like my friend was looking stupid when he came out of the white boy's house because it was junky, it was stinking, they were poor. It's the same way when they see us, it upsets them. When their police see us driving a nice car, groomed, you can tell when a person is eating well. See? I mean, you can tell when somebody's eating out of Wawa, KFC, or even Wawa is not as bad as KFC and McDonald's if you make the right choice. What I'm saying is that they know when you're living well, and they know the obstacles that are out there for everybody, but more so us. Nigga, how did you get past that? How did you run the obstacle course and jump over the invisible minefields and get to this point where you can have such things? So the first thing they say is we're a drug dealer. Why don't you call whatever sitting an active president that? Your governor, your mayor, your local politicians, they are all in the same group and they know what's going on. You want to put in your paper that we're the drug dealers, like we have planes and we can navigate these things in. It's by design. Whether it's Compton, California, the part of California where they told me on this exact show, people who grew up and lived out there, that one night, and as another person I know in person, I got to give him a call. I'm going to have him call in the show and talk about it. This was a really bad part somewhere in or around Compton. Please, if there's anybody who knows about this, echo it in, even if it's after when the show is uploaded as a regular video. That late one night, they had a truck come in and drop a wooden crate that was so huge, you know, where you can pull back the slats. They dropped one or two of them. They were big. Nobody went near it. A day or two, nobody went near it until a crackhead decided to go near it and peek inside and figure out what it was. More people got more curious, and late one night they got the hammers to pull it back to see what it was. people are going to be curious because if it's something in there to sell and you're living in poverty, hey, let the hustle come on. They pulled those slats back and saw machine guns, ammo, and it was on and popping. People were pulling those guns out, gang members. You could only imagine until that thing was empty. And now to fuel the drug disputes for those who sold drugs, gang turf wars, they had the ammunition to kill each other off easily, which was already in the making. And you talk about Noriega working with the government. You talk about it's the government, man. But we're the little ones. We're the little criminals when we are trying to eat. That's like I said earlier, if we had an infrastructure where we can work together, feed ourselves, work, and feel proud as men. Because working in corrections, I've spoken to many brothers driving the bus and even just living in New York City. I know this. Once a black man feels like a man, something else kicks in and comes back. His morality kicks back in. And you see something different. You see the world different. But when you're hungry and you feel less than, and your woman's putting you down and the TV is making you look like a little minstrel man. But see, they don't want us to have that pride. They don't want us to have that strength. They don't want us to have that ability. And it kills a lot of them, those who are racist. When we get respect from our sisters, let me tell you, sisters, even sometime if we're as black men in a downtrodden state, please understand that we may not be where we're supposed to be. But if you give us a little respect, and you don't have to take disrespect from these brothers now, but just treat the brother in passing with a little respect. They won't be able to come at you in a low decadent way when you speak to them with a righteous respect and you are carrying yourself proper. It may not work too well if your titties are hanging out. It may not work too well if the pants that you have on are so tight that when you bend down to pick something up, we can know just about when your next monthly is coming. It ain't gonna work that way. But if you carry yourself a certain way and just engage your brother in conversation in a decent way, the frustration levels will drop. And I know this from working in corrections because the majority of correction officers in America pretty much are women. It may be 50-something%. I'm not saying in every facility because you have facilities where it might be the overwhelmingly male presence that way. But when a man enters a day room aggressive, and you could tell, even if he's silent, those who they call inmates brace up. But when a woman comes in that's not taking any sexual type talk, she looks you square in your eye and tells you what to do, not in a demeaning way, but you can sense that this is a motherly kind of love. And I'm not saying it's love, she's there to do a job, but if she activates that thing, yes, ma'am, yes, ma'am. This dude might be 6'7", 300 pounds, not an ounce of fat on him. And I've seen officers who are like one chromosome away from being a midget, a little person. You see what I mean? But when you can use that, it's a motherly thing. It's a female thing. I've seen an older woman who was near retirement. Now, baby, you know I'm not the reason why you in here, and only God knows why you're here. I know your charges. But I'm like your mama, and you're going to respect me beyond this uniform. And it hurts me to see my sons in here. See how she said it? Not one of them are her sons. Not one of them came from her loins. But we need that sense of connectedness. We need that. And some of these brothers may be disconnected from that motherly love. And I've seen it happen time and time again. It's a beautiful thing, and we need to use all of our resources that way. When we as men are in public, yeah, there's a lot of women out here with beautiful bodies that even if they wore a tent, or a burlap sack, you could still see the beautiful bodies that they have. And there's a natural attraction. But restrain that. Let's bring back the faith and the belief and the knowing that not all of us are going to try to jump your bones or get you in the bed. We may think it, we may have a feeling, but we control that because we are men. And sometimes when you see them in the supermarkets, in the street, anywhere, they might need your help. And you approach them properly. And you know they're going to look at you like, this Negro trying to come over here and get between my legs. Because it's happened time and time again. We don't understand. She could have some hair rollers on. She could be on a period. She could have diarrhea. She could be just not feeling good. Pissed off at something. I'm not saying our sisters walk around pissed off. I'm just saying, and you see them in the supermarket, hey girl, they don't want, what? That's the last thing they want to hear. But be straight up to them. Listen, I'd like to help you. I'm not here for anything else. I'm a brother who's going to look out for my sisters. Do you need help? Can I help you in any kind of way? And when you're done helping them, and they thank you, you walk away. You walk away respectably. You know what I mean? You'll say something respectful, but walk away. Let us see that you ain't cutting your eye again, trying to look at the backside or whatever. You see what's there. A lot of beautiful backsides out here. Staring at one more is not going to do nothing for you. You know what it is? Come on, y'all. We got to change. All that energy that we have protesting a bloodthirsty bloodsucker and it's going nowhere in a system that's twisted against us, we need to turn it in on ourselves. That's why I said, like a double-pronged title, the fall of America is not our fight. See, it's not our fight. Our mission is turning that energy in on each other in a righteous way. But we're on such a low level, many of us, not all of us. I'm not saying anybody in this chat room. I don't know about over there on Rumble. But we all have our struggles. We're all human beings. We have to recalibrate and tune ourselves up to bringing ourselves to what we should be. We should be looking to improve our existence every day incrementally. Doesn't have to be much. Doesn't have to be much. But as long as you can say today you are better than what you were before. I am 60 years old now, and I'm looking forward to my best days because I cut a lot of riffraff out of my life. Oh, there's riffraff residue now. There's thoughts that I have to correct. But I think I'm getting better. Because if this was me 35 years ago, 40 years ago, I couldn't sit in front of this thing and talk. I had knowledge, understood. I have life experience now, but there's no way I can come out here unscripted. I was laying in the bed next to Mrs. Scurv. I started dozing because she's going to get up early. There's some plants and stuff that we're going to have delivered here. We're going to bring up to the property. So she's going to wake up earlier. And I was laying there and I said, yes, I'm going to do the show. I kept saying, yes, I'm going to do the show. All of a sudden, she started shaking me. She said, you started, snoring. Not really super snoring, but just, breathing where you were knocked out. She said, nah. I said, oh, you're right. I dozed off naturally, but I wasn't trying to get away from doing what I had to do. It's a little later than usual that I started, but I had this thought and this feeling inside of me to convey. You see what I mean? That's the bottom line. And this will make me sleep deeper when I do sleep. because I do a lot, y'all. And I don't think that I deserve a medal for that because it's what I'm supposed to do. See, there's too many people out here acting like the things that they should do, they need some extra medal for it. No. We're warriors, we're kings, we're soldiers. And we're supposed to be the front line. We're supposed to be the ones that sacrificing for our women and our women and our women, plural. Ain't no Freudian slip. Just like you see every child out there as yours, those who see that, I see every woman out there as mine, and I'm not supposed to have anybody bring her harm on my watch. What happened to our community when we had it that way? Didn't matter if you're a bus driver, didn't matter if you were a college professor, didn't matter if you swept the floors in a hospital or you were a male nurse. If you are a man walking through our former communities that are now neighborhoods, big difference. Communal, community, neighborhoods. No, man, that's like drinking Kool-Aid as opposed to freshly squeezed juice. The community has life in it. It has nutrients in it. It has life force in it. When you get to your community, long before you get to your actual physical door, you feel at home. You can't tell me no different because that's how I grew up. I can say his name. He's been in the room before. He's probably still watching. The 3 blocks between 134th Street, where I lived, and 131st Street, where Kevin lived, I was just as comfortable because that was my community. And even beyond that, not just those 3 blocks. The further you went out, maybe you felt like, well, I don't know too many people, but you know me, I knew damn near everybody, even from young. How could you not? I'm riding around the community with a unicycle, on a one-wheel bike. That's not too common. Exactly, Gifty. Now we say hood instead of neighborhood. Damn, we can't even say neighborhood, which is watered down. Now we say hood. Now we say hood. And we wear hoodies. We talk about the mask that we had to wear for that thing they put out there. But we were blocking our faces and covering up over our heads and not getting the eye contact. I remember back in the 70s, man, you didn't put nothing over your head. You saw a brother you didn't know, you're like, what's up? And you lifted up your head real quick. I do that out here in Africa, and many of the brothers don't know nothing about that, but it's natural. They go ahead and follow it through too. Connectedness. I mean, what happens when you saw a mother in the movie theater and maybe she had several kids that maybe the father had to go to the car or something. There's a father there, whatever. And you know, somebody had to go to the bathroom and that next grandmother said, come on, I'll take your baby. Come on, let's go. Or you'll go with them or whatever. But you can handle, you fell into place. It was a crime if me as a young man walked past a woman who had her car trunk open in her driveway and didn't offer to help bring the groceries at least to the door. Now, if we knew them, we'd bring it all the way in. And I'm going to tell you, not to pat myself on the back, but those who are listening who remember, if my sister Tracy ever hears this, and she remembers because I drove the bus route that went through her neighborhood, and there's an older woman, much older. She about the age of the amount of people who are in this chat or watching the show right now. Miss Washington, I would have a full bus on the 319 route. And I'm not supposed to do this, but she had so many bags with her. Now, to be honest, she was bent over. She had her mind, everything was clear. So I pulled a bus, which didn't have a stop in front of a house. I pulled it over, lowered it. She went and opened the door. And this is with people on the bus. I'd take those bags. Maybe another brother would help me. He'd help her to the door, but she had me bring it inside, right by the sink, right in the kitchen, right by the table. I'm a big bus driver, uniform on, bus waiting, passengers there. I was always on time, so it never made me late. What I'm saying, we got to go over and above. And every time I drove past her house, the whole neighborhood was tight. But if I happened to see something funny, I had her phone number. So if I saw two dudes running up out of her yard and it was dark, I'll go to the next corner, pull over and call her and wake her up. She's a young man. She never really, got my name, but she knew who I was. She said, I don't care if it's 2 or 3 in the morning, you out there driving, you call me. Community. And I didn't even live in that area. You see what I mean? See? That sense of togetherness. That thing that we have in this chat room right here. All over the world we are, different states, different countries. Different countries. But we have, I'm not just going to say the same mind. No, we're in different levels of development, but we have a common thread that bonds us together. We don't have to wait for somebody to tell us this, but our unity is a threat to the oppressor. And they laugh when we call them oppressors, but they don't give a damn about us. That's the first thing we got to understand, that they don't give a damn about us. I said damn, but I can say something that starts with the letter F. Same thing. Stop looking to them. And when they woo you over with the sweet talk, they're trying to use you on these jobs or for what's between your legs or for how they can use you somehow. Like those folks, black folks over in the LGBTQ, elemental P, whatever it is, they taking over the whole damn alphabet. Shoot. Got black folks over there. I've got my rights. I finally got my rights. But in your neighborhood, you don't have no damn rights when the cops pull you over or shoot your son or shoot your brother. And them same white folks over there who had you over there, like I always like to add the song, and there's a little black spot on the sun today. You over there feeling all happy and teary-eyed, we got my rights, and half of them can't stand your black ass. They're just using you because it looks good. That's all that is. If you're that, be who you are first. Concern yourself with the black family first. The black community first, your black people first. You identifying with an act? An act? I mean, other than that, what defines you as this alphabet thing? Because you choose to do something decadent behind closed doors, it ain't behind closed doors now. I've seen all kind of things in the street in Orlando and New York. Places where I live, which I've lived other places for shorter periods of time. It ain't even closed up no more. And they want to push this, have a right. And now these pastors are handcuffed now because they can't say nothing about it. But half of them are in that thing. So get out the daggone religion. If it can't be straight up and say what it needs to say, what are you following that for? It don't make no sense. This is the Twilight Zone world, y'all. So fast. I have to say it. I've seen a lot in my days. I ain't 85 years old, but I don't have to be 85 years old. Things are accelerating so fast for the bad that we need to start realizing. It's like when you going a little too fast on that street and you glance down at your phone and you look up and you see the back of that car in front of you coming up at you fast, and you squeeze them brakes just in time. And if you're a man, you find yourself doing anal Kegels. You flexing your butthole because you just miss hitting the back of the car in front of you. So we need to sound the alarm now. The alarm has been sounded from many decades ago, and we're still not facing it. It's not our fight. Fool you into being patriotic like they got your back. Mrs. Scurv has talked about it. She has a son who did 10 years in the Marines, came back with a physical ailment that you couldn't see, a nerve condition. I'm not putting any business out in the street. She said it, and he was even on the show years ago. He's not a talkative person. But when it came time to get treated at the VA, they gave him the runaround, pushing off dates far in advance, making it hard to get through, postponing things, and your body is riddled with this thing now. It's under control, and he's living a full life. But on the front side, they make it sound so good when that recruiter with the glossy shoes is talking to you. We'll cover this for you. We'll cover that for you. If you do at least 4 years, we'll do this, your college and your health care, and you have VA benefits when you look to purchase a home for the first time. It's like, wow. And look how many are out there homeless of all colors. The military, AKA the government, the military, is like that sweet talking dude, ladies, who's handsome, who's well kept, mannerable, but he has been known to be a charmer and a lover boy. And also you hear in whispers that he doesn't hang around too long after he's gotten between the pearly gates. And guess what? You want to hope that things are different, and his words seem so sincere. And you know you want it too, but you don't want to be used. But it feels so good when a man talks to me that way. Don't soundbite that and say it's me. I'm talking about the woman saying that. You see what I mean? And you have a glorious time. And he whispered sweet nothings to you. And you wake up and you find that he's dressed, and he says he has to go where once he said he can spend the weekend with you and talk about how he feels. Well, he doesn't want to be around. He doesn't have call you now. You text me, doesn't text back. You want to look at it like a good thing, but you realize you've been had. So many in the military. This is what they go through, and I've seen it not just in my stepson's case, but in so many. Especially driving the bus, working in the jail, working in a prison, where they have to do things to survive, the emotional issues, the psychological problems that many have, and they give you pills. A pill is not going to take care of an emotional issue. A pill is not going to take care of the issue of you feeling abandoned by the very military who treated you like you were the best and trained you sometimes to be a killer. Now they don't give a damn about you. Is that something you want to be involved in? Exactly. Bruh, who? Blacks in the military have signed up to police and kill other slaves. You're so right. I do say I know a handful of brothers that are very close to me who are disgusted with this fact that you say, because they learned, because they really had a sincere heart. And many who go into the military have a sincere heart. They don't know. That young kid who's groomed by the pedophile has a sincere heart, not knowing that he's being groomed. You see what I mean? At some point, we've all been groomed for something. You're right, mixed genre faves. And I know you know. I know you know. And I've seen it. They use you and throw you away like a used piece of tissue, whether you had a cold or had to wipe your backside. And my father always told me, do not ever join that foolishness. And they have you thinking, I'm defending my country, I'm protecting my country. What? Well, ain't too much protection going on in America the way we getting shot down. And usually when they call the National Guard in, it's to protect the other people from us, and we're not a threat. And for those people who say, well, you have to stock up on your guns and your ammo. Well, I'm not against having a firearm or several. I'm not. But white people, please don't think that's going to stop stuff from happening. Because who are you going to shoot in the dark when the grid goes down? Right? Who are you going to shoot when your stomach is growling with hunger? You going to eat the gun? When the grid goes down, you better have a plan A, B, C, D, and E all the way to Z. When stuff pops off, you better know where to meet your family. If the grid goes down, how do you contact them? By the phone? By email? Everybody's not going to walk around with a satellite phone. Those who can afford it, research that. Because that goes directly to the satellites, not the towers. And you can use that. It's very expensive, though, to use. But it's worth it for a short call to get your family together. There you go, bro. Let me take a sip of water, y'all. Give me a second. I'm just seeing this Gina G use you like a Hot Wheel track, toss you away after broken. I must admit you are showing us your chronologicals. Because that's some old 1970s stuff right there. You're already telling it, but I'm with it. I'm with you on that. But we need to stop consuming their news that's engineered, that will have them arguing over different points and smearing us. Like I said, we're parasitic over the whole planet and in denial about that. And you'll live a better, longer life if you are away from that evil mission that they have. And again, some could act really nice, but let there be no food. You think they're going to come to your house and bring you something to eat? Let the niggas fear for themselves. See? So we have to mentally dislodge ourselves from this place. Because after all we've taken and still take, they expect us to be patriotic. They expect us to love that place. Oh, I love America. The country, the soil, the rivers, the lakes, the mountains. I love that part of it. But I have all of that out here too. Right? And where we're building is up in the mountains. And I can live better here than I did there. Yeah, we got some issues over here, but you know what? I'm good. I don't want to be around the overdoses. I don't want to be around the shootings. You know, I'm going to say it again. I say it every few months, but there was a gentleman who was coming to our home when we lived in Orlando. He either was doing the windows, or they did a really good job too. Really, really good quality windows and stuff. And he heard me playing some music in my studio room where I did my little YouTube shows back then when we had that house before we sold it. He says, "Oh, I love that music." I said, "Okay, what do we have here?" So he was telling me about how he used to break dance, and he was a little heavy set at this point. I think he was like 1 year younger than me. And he started dropping names about New York rappers. And I'm like, whoa, you know your stuff. So he says, yeah. So we got into a deep discussion. And he had a lot of problems with the other white folks that lived in that area because where he grew up was about maybe 3 miles away from where our house was. So he still had a connection there to maybe 1 or 2 families who are still there because most moved away. Some died. The kids inherited the homes and eventually moved away. So he put me on to a whole lot of things. And so he said, you know, down in that next area, I should pull up a map and see so I can drop a name in there. Let me do that. I'm going to drop a name in there. Let's see. We'll drop a name in there. I like to drop names and keep things factual so nobody's like, well, what area was that? And I say, I don't know. Okay, we're going to pull this up on the map. And it's at the tip of my tongue, but I'm going to pull it up. Okay. I'm seeing it. Okay, we know Ocoee was jacked up because we live like 2 blocks over the Ocoee borderline in Pine Hills. Orla Vista, there it is. Orla Vista, right below 408, the highway. Ocoee, you all need to Google the Ocoee riots, things like that, because that was a part of the sundown town aspect of Central Florida, Ocoee, Ocoee. Big history there. And we live just a little bit up the road from it. And Orla Vista too, and even Pine Hills, Claricona, all of that. But there was white flight for a time, and blacks moved in. And the drugs were pumped there, everything was allowed. And, you know, certain other areas, they don't allow certain things. And even in certain affluent neighborhoods, you got just as much drugs going on over there because you got white folks that leave their affluent gated communities and they drive that little station wagon that's beat up. They don't drive the luxury car. I'm talking about the ones who are from those affluent areas because I know some personally. I ain't going to name names, but if you're listening, you know I know. Personally. And they go on out there in the hood and get their stuff and go right on. If they get pulled over in the hood, the cops let them go. Them cops know exactly what they're there for. That's my word. But Orla Vista, Orlo Vista, Orlovista, Orlo Vista, right below Pine Hills in Orlando. He said, this white man who was doing work in my house, he said it was 90% Klan on his block and all surrounded him. And he said, that's a low number. And anyone else, they were Klan sympathizers. And because he played with black kids and hung out with some black kids and other white kids, whatever, they couldn't stand their family. Y'all are nigger lovers. And they harassed him. But still on cold, they never did nothing to him. But they let them know how they felt. See? So people throwing rocks at the windows and breaking them and all this. And then he told me, this is what he told me, because we know they do that. We know that's what they do. So it shouldn't be any shock, because I'm not shocked. It's like you keep getting hit with a particular punch. After a while, you say, okay, the next time they throw this punch, I'm going to deflect it and hit them back with something they can't expect, because I'm not a victim. But he said, Lance, he says, what you've got to understand is that stronghold, that Klan stronghold, whether you're in a Klan or not, or a sympathizer, had that mindset toward black people, you got to understand that those are your politicians now. Those are your doctors now. Those are your professors now. Those are your pastors now. And they have their secret little conversations. So how do you feel knowing that if you go to a hospital and you're ailing for some reason, that the doctor, he may not kill you immediately with the medication, but he may give you a little too much and have you on it a little too long, or mix the medications where over time your liver and your kidneys just conk out. Who's to say they won't do that? because they can sit up in a church every Sunday as a cloak and a facade and a cover for their wickedness, and they're planning your doom and your death. How many of us could have been saved if we got in a shootout or hit by a car and the ambulance takes its time to get there and does a few things that you arrive dead on arrival? Think about that. You think, and we're not just talking about the Klan now. The Klan is nothing compared to these other groups that are so opposed to our existence. And we don't know who they are. They'll hang out with you. Oh, he's a cool white guy. He's busy bringing back information. Look what happened to me when I started this show. My internet cut off. My internet is paid up, probably to the end of the year. And every time I pay, every month I pay and don't need it. But I pay for the month what I think I need to use, and I double it. I'm not running out. I got work to do. I got downloads to do and a platform to run. And even though I'm a little fatigued, even when I started out, I'm in my spirit right now. This is Scurv new. I wasn't trying to get away from doing the show. I just dozed off for a second. I'm glad, because I'd feel real bad. I would still get up if it was 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock in the morning and do it. I'm like that. I'm fanatical like that. But we don't know. And you have other groups out here. Remember, their hate for us and their dark spiritual practices, there's some out there like that also. And I'm gonna tell you, look, there's any kids listening, y'all need to get off, because I'm gonna talk a little lewd right now. Not to be lewd, but I have to keep reminding you that it's not just, oh, they hate us, or they might spit in our hamburger and add a little extra special sauce and watch you eat it and laugh. No, it's more to it than that. Because we have something that they want. They can't get, and see some of the white folks listen, oh, he's talking crazy. Because you all are ignorant to so many things also. Walking around pompous like you know everything. There's a lot of shit going on out here in this world. Beyond the level of the physical. See, and this is why they want to tap into the realms that they cannot reach. But we can naturally reach. But our nose is too much in the decadence that we have lowered our vibration and we can't reach as high as we're supposed to. You could be 8 feet tall, but if you're a potential basketball player, drunk and drugged out of your mind, if you're on your knees, you can't touch the hoop. That's the way it is on a spiritual level. That's why they laugh when they see you in the street acting a fool, because that's one less person. That's one less Negro that we have to worry about, that we have to concern ourselves about. They killing each other off. We ain't got to work good. Ha, 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 ha. We ain't got to put that blood on our hands. But on a spiritual level, they know that they can't even comprehend this thing. And they're trying to get there so hard and keep us from waking up. Because it's a battle on all fronts, not just the physical. You need to, instead of protest, we need to get back to the original practices that would whip them handily. Whatever they did in Haiti, we need to go back to that. I'm not talking about the evil thing to do on us, but that natural thing that brings them out here. You know how many times I've been up in the mountains and you see some Caucasians with a spiritualist walking, trying to learn what we're supposed to know? And it's like they see me, they know I'm not from here, but they know I'm a black man who lives here and belongs here. They look at me like, what are you doing here? Because see, I throw in a little extra bop when I walk, let them know. Or I whip out the phone, even if there's no conversation, and let them hear the American accent. Like, damn, what is he doing out here? I had one come out of the store behind me. I was in the line in front of her. Mrs. Scurv went across the street somewhere, and The lady walked up to me. I hear a New York accent, don't I? Yes, you do. Oh, how long is your visit? What do you mean in America? My visit in America is over. What do you mean? You asked me how long I'm going to be visiting. Yes, how long are you visiting here? No, I live here. I live here for good. They don't like that. Because if one person comes out here and breaks it down, even with the issues that are out here, to show someone else how to navigate and get out here, I want to bring as many as I can. And it may not be for everybody. I understand that. But I want you to know it can be done. I want you to know you don't have to be up in their faces with them pushing the foolishness. You just get paid and you're a person who's reputable and you walk into a drugstore or a store to make a purchase and they're following behind you like you're a criminal, like you're a thief, and you peek down the next aisle and there's a drug addicted white boy shoving half the aisle down in his pants. I don't even say anything. And you wonder why so much of your stuff is stolen and you believe this and you have other races believe in this. Go into one of these little markets and these Koreans are following you around. Get the hell out of here. You coming over here and we built this place. And this damn liar, destructive, evil entity puts these images of us on that television set and whispers into your ear how bad we are. And then you see us in our downtrodden state and you believe it because you actually see some things and think that's the majority of us. No, it's not. And if somebody does anybody wrong, you take care of them. I'm not mad at that. But don't put that on me. Don't put that on me. I'm not, look, I'm hiding my face because I look a little tired. The other day, I look the same as I do in this banner. That picture was taken maybe like year and a half ago, 2 years ago, a year and a half. I look the same. I'm going to take more pictures. But at 60 years old, you don't see faces like that usually because I ain't been drinking all my life. I ain't been doing drugs at all. I haven't drunk, I have some little sip of something, Fuki plum wine once a year. And sometimes 2 or 3 years go by, I forget it. Just a little glass of it after a meal. But other than that, and I like to stay up late. I should be looking more beat up than that. But I get my sleep. Sometimes I miss it and I try to make up. But what I'm trying to say, I live clean. I live clean. Show me another white man, 60 years old, blue collar, worked all his life, had to deal with the crap that I've had to deal with and the mental stuff thrown at me, and show me what he looked like. Show me one 40 years old. There's no ego thing. We need to be proud of ourselves. They don't want us to be proud of how we take care of ourselves. You cut the lawn, you polish your car, you wash it, you wax it, and you stand back and say, I did a good job. They got us on so many levels of low self-esteem. We're almost apologetic when we shine. Almost like we want to say, I'm sorry for shining. White people, I'm sorry that my body's better than yours. I'm sorry that I look better than you. I'm sorry that I'm spiritually stronger than you. I'm sorry that I've gone through things that would have cracked you in half moments into it. I'm sorry. Why be sorry? You the sugar honey iced tea. Take care of yourself. Know that anything that comes to you in this life, there's a solution for it even when you don't know it. Get your head and your mind out of their trash. Keep a sharp mind. Live with purpose. Know what you're going to do for the day. And if an emergency happens, yes, you may have to stop or not do it, but you can always go around it. Every problem has a solution, but I don't like to say the word problem. Every challenge has a solution. In the challenge of this wicked system on our lives, there is a solution. Don't mess with it. Don't mess with it. Live clean. Let them stew in their own juices. Don't let them pull that over you and make you think that you're less than what you are. You're the best on the planet. You got natural abilities that you don't even know that you have. If we remove the decadent stuff out of us, I'm not saying anybody in this chat room, I'm just speaking in general. You see? It's amazing. It's amazing how we let them dupe us into thinking that we're less, that we could only be subservient to them. What happened to being subservient to our own cause? You own a store, you got to make money. I understand that. But why can't we help our community learn how to get shoes at a discount price if you know that the ins and outs of that industry? See, you still sell your shoes in the store and get what you know, to keep yourself afloat. But we need to share information, and we need to go over and above in supporting ourselves. Remember, Pine Hills Road, Colonial Drive, Route 50 in Orlando, there's a Caribbean shop. Not a shop, it's a supermarket, doing very well. But there's a whole strip mall of stores across the street that are Chinese. And you can say Asian. And in that whole parking lot in Florida, you know, you have the choice to say what county you're from on your license plate, or you can just have it say Florida. Many people choose to have the county. In that parking lot of the Asian strip mall where they have a supermarket, they have a bus company. A bus company. I think it's like only 2 buses. They go pretty far. But they have a bus company. They started out small, but they all support it because when those buses are loading up, who do I see? Nothing but Asians. Nothing but Asians. And they're in there from all over Florida, from way down in South Florida. They spent more money. They spent gas and made it a day trip to go from South Florida to Central Florida to support their own, to do their shopping. Now, would we do that? I don't know. Some of us will. But I know there's going to be some. Man, I ain't driving all that damn way, go up there, man, waste that gas, man, for a 4-hour, 5-hour job. Say, I ain't doing it. I ain't doing that shit. You know what I mean? We ain't gonna do it. Some of us will. But this is a war, and we've got to reject all of it and stick with our own and have that mindset. The common thread doesn't mean we have to, excuse me, doesn't mean we have to have or be monolithic. No, let me get a sip of water, yo. That cough came from my throat being dry. I believe in that also, bruh. We put it across to scare the people who are watching this who don't look like us. Okay, wait now. It was going up too fast. I would suggest that Black people adopt Black supremacy as a methodology and modus. It automatically excludes white nonsense or inclusion and makes our job of writing ourselves easier. Amen. Amen. You hear that rumble? You hear that rumble? You hear that so-called powers that be? You shut me down, I'm going to come back. Shut me down again, I'll make this a 6-hour show. Let me just see if anybody wants to come in, because soon I'm going to wrap it down. It's 1:47 a.m. here. Mrs. Scurv is not going to beat me up to wake up. She's going to let me sleep. She's like, no, you got to do that show. And I'm like, yeah, I know I got to do it too. But she understands. She understands. That's the link to come on in. If you have anything you want to share or say. Before I wrap it down, I'm just so glad to be here to share those thoughts. And I hope it made sense, because I woke up out of a sleep. And I could sleep with no guilt. Because let me tell you something. I would feel so bad if I woke up and said, oh my God, I missed it. You know, Bad enough I was late, but that's excusable because I said that, you know, our 6 o'clock show may be sometimes 7 or 8 because, you know, okay, I'll let the cat out the bag. We have to go and get some electrical material tomorrow, more wires, more things. We have to go down in that busy area. I will get some good footage, colorful footage. Yes, I am. We're definitely going. Camera's already charged, so I'll share a little bit of the busy street life out there, out here in the Kragata, you know. Thank you, Queen Red Pill. Yes, thank you. Thank you so much. Yeah. And anyone who wants to come on and speak from the heart, just let me know. It's not just, it doesn't have to be just me. Queen Red Pill had shared a poem. It was a beautiful poem, powerful. You see what I mean? This is what I want it to be. It just doesn't have to be about me. We know the address, Lancescurv. You know the big head in front of you in the face and everything like that. But quickly will I move aside to allow someone who's speaking that good talk to motivate us, to teach us, to share anytime. If I go to bed and sleep for 2 hours, I dare anybody to call me and say, Lance, I want to come on. I'm going to say, I got you. I might not make a super fancy banner. I might make that later on. But I'll set it up, let you on in, and I'll say, listen, if there's any problems, ring me on the phone because I'm too tired to stay on. I'm going back to sleep, but you can talk as long as you want. And when you're ready to get done, call me. Then when you can vibe. The conference line is open 24/7. Now, I know I'm not going to last that long, but after this show, if you want to go on, you can call it. You can go to Lancescurv and hit that number. It would take you there without you having to call if you go on the homepage and see it there, right? That's how we do. So I want to flash that right now just for a few so you see that it's real for those who are here. That's the number, 321-521-2515. Again, there's a link on LanceScurv.com below the chat room, which is below the video. You'll see this number. Just click on the banner on LanceScurv.com and you won't have to dial the number. It will take you straight in. And there's no long distance charges, you know, incurred with that number or with that link, because we have international calling numbers, but I don't push that as much. Once I found that you can just get in by clicking the link on LanceScurv.com. See, so I'm always thinking of ways. Today I had an issue with one of the plugins on my site and I had to get rid of it, which took one of the functions away, which nobody's really going to notice anyway. And with a plugin, it's just that, for those who don't know. If you buy a house, the house usually doesn't come with a vacuum cleaner. But when you get the vacuum cleaner, what do? You plug it in. So there are functions on LanceScurv.com that didn't come with the original template. I had to purchase these plugins to do this and to do that. Like with the chat room that's there, the 24-hour chat room. You can go there and chat sometime 24/7. It's got private rooms and everything. That's a plugin. It increases the functionality of your platform. So I had to learn how to do these things, to be independent, to do the banners and learn the programs. And I'm constantly educating myself on how to do the little things and embellishments. And for those of you all on Rumble who hate the fact that I run my mouth and talk a lot of stuff that you might not like, go to LanceScurv.com and check out the artwork that I do. Check out the writing that I do. Now, I'm not high on myself, but you got to Muhammad Ali it in this world, boosting yourself up, because there's damn sure a lot of stuff out here to tear you down. Know your value and know your worth. You go on their jobs, they're always going to underpay you. They're going to have somebody else who doesn't look like you, who's going to come under you, ask you all the questions and learn, and even they'll have you train them, and they'll be your supervisor getting paid more, but they'll always come to you to ask the question on how to solve an issue. Isn't that something? Isn't that something? Well, most of us keep quiet about this stuff, but look, I'm retired. I'm not a millionaire. I'm good. But you know what? I'm going to talk. I'm going to talk. I'm going to talk for the rest of my years and create and be a needle in the side of that one who hates me because of the way I look, treated me so bad. So now it's hell to pay. Oh, I'm going to live a peaceful life. But I never forgot how you treated me, America. Huh? How you lied to me, America. Right? How you wasted my time, but I learned well. And I'm going to tell my stories. I'm going to tell those who may not know what it's really like. I'm going to expose you with every turn. You've created a monster. You've created a monster. You created a monster big time. And I love being that monster, because for me to be that monster, you ain't going to terrorize anybody coming behind me or next to me or in front of me. Age-wise, they'll get hip. They may think I'm a little crazy. Is that all he talks about? No. I'm a wonderful conversationalist, even outside of these matters that we talk about on the channel. I think so. I don't think anybody's ever been bored around me. When they see me, they smile because they know something's coming. Something funny, something informative, or just something soothing or motivational. Whatever's needed, my vibration is there for my people. That's right. That's right. That's right. And see, the day we get, I see you, bro, who the day we get reparations, that's the day the dollar crashes. It ain't gonna crash now. It's on its way to crashing, you know, but the day they give us reparations is the day that bad boy crashes. Trust me, trust and believe. You got to know that's what it is. So yes, I'm gonna wrap it down now. I'm gonna drop the link one more time. Like you all know that, like I said, the conference line is going to be open. I play a little music, and I got to find a way to not have the music playing the conference line while I'm wrapping up the show. That was brought to my attention, so that when you go in there, you in there with no hesitation, right? That's always. You don't even have to ask me. If you all get together and say, let's meet up over there, whatever, fine. Or tell me, Lance, I know you're busy, but blast it out that 10 o'clock Eastern Standard Time or midnight, we're all going to pile up there and have a little verbal, bang up. No problem. No problem. Like I said, I'm here to serve. I'm here to serve. Thank you, bro. That's what it's all about. So I'm going to get ready to go. And thank you, Megan. Thank you so much. That was from the heart. I got about 1,000 more from the heart. Point and click. You can throw a fastball at me, a curveball, a knuckleball. You know what I mean? Boom. I'm going to knock it out the park. I'm not saying I'm bragging like that. I'm just saying I live this. And I live this in a way. Thank you so much, Brother Yapo. I live this, so I know this well. And y'all know I ain't lying because you came in the same packaging, more or less melanin, but it don't matter. You can be as white as that, the numbers on top, and you black. You can be as black as the black. It's beyond the color too. See, they hate us on a spiritual level of where they can't reach. It's the color too. It's the power that comes with that. They hate it. They're fascinated with us. They're fascinated with our minds when our minds are right. They're fascinated with our rhythm. They're fascinated with our beauty, male and female. I'm not talking some old, switch hitter stuff. I'm talking about the beauty of the male, the beauty of the female, the black man and the black woman. The power that comes from our sensuality and their twisted fascination with our sexuality. Because they are weak that way. Birth rates, y'all. They banned the channel when I mentioned that. I'll just say birth rates. We ain't got no problem with birth rates. We eating the worst food in the so-called hood and we plopping them out healthy. How do they do it? We go to a fertility clinic and we've had miscarriages. How the hell do they do it? Eating Chinese food and cheese doodles? Oh my God. We have the best nutritionists cooking our food, and we just can't conceive. You think maybe that might have something to do with what your forefathers have done to us before? The sins of the father visited on the children? Huh? Maybe. You don't have to believe in that, but you know there are divine laws in place. Huh? You think you're exempt from that? You think you can keep on poisoning us and killing us and all this twisted stuff? Trying to make our kids, the boys, turn to girls and the girls turn to boys, and you just want to mess us up now, don't you? Where'd that come from? Why are you so preoccupied with that? Having a vice president of a country fly over to Ghana and want to push this rainbow foolishness. We don't need your rainbow. There's beautiful rainbows in the sky out here every damn day after it rains. What do we need you for with that? If we just live our own natural lives, spiritually grounded, and there is corruption over here that the enemy has brought over here because he gives some of the leaders trinkets and baubles and rubies to turn against their own people. I'm not going to be greedy like that. I just want to get out of me what's in me to do. I'm happy where I am. I'm happy to see you grow and vibe. I love this. I live for this. I ain't chasing no chick around the corner. Oh, Miss Scurv sleep. Let me go on out there and see if I can get a little doodle. No. I ain't trying to rip nobody off. And I'm not demanding anything of anyone. Those who have monetarily donated, I need it. And I'm happy with what you give. Everybody's not in a position to give. It doesn't mean I love you any less. I'm not like these other dudes out here. Oh, you ain't giving nothing. You can't say nothing. No. Because you can share. You can come speak. You can say, hey, here's a link to talk about whatever. My joy is in doing this, the joy of the process. This is why they will focus on shutting down my show by sending whatever little bullet they do to my internet. And the funny thing was, they shut down the internet for the computers selectively, but my phone, I went on Telegram and say, hey, I'll be back on. My internet's down. They didn't even mess with the show through the show. They went straight for the internet. So what does that tell me? And I know other things that I will share. And I'm not no big revolutionary where, oh, yes, I'm this. Or, you know, some people try to paint themselves as being the next Malcolm X or the next Marcus Garvey. Look, I pale in comparison to that. I ain't trying. I'm following in their footsteps with what I can do. That if we all collectively do our part and follow their lead, we can do. But why are we? We always have to acknowledge our ancestors. But why is that the only focus? Every February come around and they give us a short month to so-called celebrate. And we just go back over to say that if they can come back alive, carry on with the plan that I started. You know who I am. What about the Malcolms of today? What about the Marcus Garveys of today? Let's be that now. More than just a meme. Little boy, a teenager told me, oh, Malcolm X, yeah, he wanted the X-Men. Are you serious? You thought he was a Marvel comic, which we know the Marvel Comics version, the X-Men, the mutants and stuff, that was stirred up by Malcolm X and other, civil rights activists. And it's not just civil rights, though. We know it's human rights. They know who we are. They know the spirit that's coming too. But they don't like us being able to go higher on a spiritual level. And they're coming at us on those levels. They're summoning up entities to come at us that are not there for us. They'll give their soul to see us not rise. Yes, they will. And like I brought up before, and I was leading up to it, and I'm sorry to get on. I'm going to say what I have to say. I've said it before. They're preoccupied with us sexually. All you see on the porn sites, you see a little bit of everything, but you see the white woman sucking off the black man. Sorry if this is offensive, but I'm going somewhere with this, and they know the power of our sperm. And you think you're getting over, and you try to justify yourself, as I've heard many black men say, well, yeah, let it go ahead and do it. Let us serve me. 400, 500 years where they did to us. Who you getting back at? You already like that. You still got the brainwashing in you. Oh, yeah, I feel better. White woman stuck on my dick. It's a mental power thing. Because you think you got power now because you think she's subservient down between your legs. No, she's snatching your soul and stealing your sperm. And she gonna take that back to her man who wants it in his mouth too, but mainly they want to take it back and do their rituals with your damn power. You never thought about that before, right? Yeah, some have. You heard me say it before, and some of you already know it. They do rituals. They have sex orgies. They send all these white women to gang up on the black man. That's why they have soul snatching porn. Snatch my soul, baby. That means a blowjob out of this world. Make me weak. Snatch my soul. Really? There's more than one way to sell over your soul to the devil than to go into Hollywood or the entertainment industry. Most of us do it every day, or as much as we can, with that one who's taking it. Yes. I've explored New York City, late 70s, early 80s, late 80s, a little touch of the 90s. I found myself in all kind of decadent places because I was curious and I wanted to see. I can write a book on these things. The people who know me growing up, they know. When I was too young to get in these places, I used to take a woman's eyebrow pencil and paint on them, put on a mustache. I had the muscles. But you have women out here who go out specifically for that. And you wonder why you feel so weak. It ain't because you just ejaculated in a warm mouth. There's a spiritual element to it, especially when they done came at you all chanted up anyway. They know the purpose of what they're doing. That's why we need to just deal with our own. If you like that act, no problem. I like it too, but I ain't giving it away to nobody else like that. If I was single, no way. There's so much involved in that union. You're giving away energy that they take to use against you because you're focusing on pleasure and they're focusing on conquering you, and you're giving up your best weapon. Put that sperm where it belongs. The cure for cancer or AIDS may come out of that with you and the union between your sister. Now, I don't mean sister incest. I mean your black, beautiful sister, black woman. I got to be very careful how I talk. They talk about sex magic. It's real. But if you have restraint from temptation to dipping in things you ain't supposed to dip into, you'll be a very, very, very powerful man. And I say man too, because it's the sperm, but with the woman also. They talk about semen retention. Search it on YouTube or on Google. The more you restrain yourself from spilling sperm, whether it's through masturbation or intercourse, you're better off. But if it's a dedicated union, if you want to put it up there as much as you want, but if you're living in balance, it's not going to happen that way. If you're living in balance and building with your woman, your wife, that sex drive comes out in so many different ways. My sex drive is coming out and doing these shows every day. Not my whole thing, but my drive. Come on now. You know, after you had a good orgasm, you don't want to get up and do nothing. You have to earn your orgasm. Hold back. Understand that you can take a bit of that, enjoy it with your woman, but you ain't going to just spray it out. Say hello to my little friends, and just everything that come by, you just want to jump on it. If you think that way and you're living that way, you're imbalanced and you have a major issue because your drive has to be going towards something. You see what I mean? That's right, bro, who make black babies. Come on out here in the motherland. Get some land, inexpensive. Start out with a small property. You know, and as you make those babies, add on to the house. Construction is a whole lot different out here. You have differences in culture and differences as far as issues are concerned, but they're minor if you know how to circumvent them and navigate them. It's a whole lot better when you compare it to America, the America I spell with 3 Ks. I'm not trying to go through that same foolishness. Oh, I'll visit, and I'm not going to broadcast it either. I'll drop you a call, those in the inner circle. Like, yo, I'll be here for the next 2 or 3 days. Come meet up with me. We're going to do some videos too, if you want to show your face. I'm not going to show them until I come back. Because you know how they are. They might knock out your internet 1 minute and want to knock down your plane the next. You ain't getting me. I'm not dumb. Anyway, y'all, let me get ready to run. And that's right. That's right. They want to go to the hereafter to meet us there, and whatever. They can't do it. How you going to get there when you have no soul? And that's why they want to drag us down as much as they can on this level before we ascend. You know, the caterpillar walking around on the ground now. We go in our spiritual cocoon and change over into what we are supposed to change over. We break the cocoon of this body and ascend as butterfly that many don't even realize that, or who we were, getting squashed underfoot. Sometimes we squash a caterpillar, don't even realize the caterpillar was there. We get squashed over in this system and people don't care. Just run over us. When we get to that cocoon of consciousness and reside there for a while, cleanse ourselves and ascend. When we're flying up so beautiful, all they can do on the ground is look at us because they can't fly like we can on that spiritual plane. Don't let Christianity hold them wings down. Don't be a fool, because even those of the locusts and the parasites who claim that, they don't live by that. They talking about, yeah, you know, certain scriptures is an abomination, but they sitting here doing it. LGBTQ and transhumanism and, you know, the pedophile thing. Like I said, give it 5 years. It's already out there in certain countries. Give it 5 years. Maybe even happen first or early. Bestiality. And like I said, this porn, you have to be careful. Go into your youngsters' history and look. Make sure they ain't looking at that. Talk to them about it. They still gonna sneak and look at it, but put some things in their mind, because now I'm gonna get certain snapshots. There've been certain things sent to me for years already, and I'm gonna talk about it. They have these demonic looking animals screwing women with penises that go in the vagina and come out the mouth. What kind of, these are straight demons, I'm telling you, y'all. Hoof, feet, and tails, and animal lower bodies, and just, what are you prepping our minds for? Because this stuff exists. It may not be where it's that animal demon thing in the physical walking around, but it's damn sure coming at you at night. And some of the people you deal with are already that. How about that? How about the woman who came on the show and said that she went to the hotel with this guy, treated her nice. I think it was a Nigerian dude, not to knock Nigerians, because demons come in all bodies, especially with us too. And she got to go pee came back, the bathroom light, she left it on, it was cracked. She was looking at the text messages, and this thing it wasn't him anymore. It was a big thing, looked like the Gill Man. Remember the Gill Man from late 50s? Big thing, this hard body, big muscular, long thing, hoof feet, breathing heavy. She did the whole thing about feet don't fail me now, grabbed her clothes and got on up out of there. Somehow, some way, maybe it dropped this guard that I shouldn't look like a man anymore. Who knows? Things malfunction. Be careful of the crotch sauce that you swallow. I give it to you raw, yo. I'm going to do a monologue within the next few days. We're going to go deeper than that. There's some things I want to share that I know. I know it. I've been there. But things that I'm, like I said before, the whole analogy when you're a little girl, little boy, 4 or 5 years old, you're at a park concert, free concert, and you can't see. Everybody's button is in your face. But the person you're with, the adult, puts you up on their shoulders and now you can see. So you can't, you heard the music, but now you can see. I've heard a lot of different types of music and now I can see. And there are things that come to me. And I want to get it all out of me. I don't want to sit here and hold on to this stuff. And it's for someone else to take it and run with it who may be higher than me or have a propensity. Maybe I can only go but so far. I have no problem with that. But the distance I'm supposed to go, the depth, the height, whatever, let me exercise that now. Let me get that out of me now. It's part of my mission. I have to. I don't care who call me crazy. I don't care. I don't care. I know what I saw. Yeah. You see that Gina G? What she said about the banks in Chinatown? New York City got Chinatown. They come from all over the world to support their people. Chinatown has their own banks down there. I cannot walk in their bank and bank with them. That's right. But if we start something, see? If we start something, how are they racist? We're supposed to separate from them. Yes. Oh, yeah, Apple. Thank you. I got more coming like that. Folks are like, that's a tease. You only said a little bit. Well, I promise within the next 7 days, depending on how the schedule's going, because I'm going to start going to the property every day now. So my night shows will always be the night shows, and I'll record stuff from up there because I'm going to bring some stuff up there and record. But I have to have my sleep patterns proper. And I can't go up there as early as she does, because I'm up a little later. So I'll sleep a little bit, then I'll go up there. Then we get some good shots and stuff like that. But yeah, I'm gonna zone out and go for like 3 hours or so on one of those, on a sexual, spiritual level. I'm gonna go deeper in things that I have already experienced but didn't understand. And now when I think back, I'm like, oh man, that's what that was. That's what that was. It's a very, very powerful medium. And it's one of the easiest ways to get us caught up, not just in scandal, but trapped up in spiritual strongholds and soul ties that we're not aware of, that keep us from ascending as we should. And we know we have greatness in us, but for some reason we're like, why can't I ever make it? Not that everybody says that now, but there have been times when we had sticking points, and lots of times it came through our sexual connections, which takes a long time to get rid of in most cases with those infestations. I mean, when I first moved down, I first moved down to Atlanta, but it was a second apartment. We were in one apartment, then moved to a second apartment. I was with my ex-wife. Apartment was clean, squeaky clean, but a lady moved next door, and those roaches she had came over on our side. Oh my God. It wasn't just a kitchen sink thing. It wasn't just a bathtub thing when you cut the lights and see all these roaches on. You opened the door and they were all over the rug, the walls, the ceilings, whatever. And when the exterminator came next door, to do away with those roaches. And he had to come by us. He said, I'm not supposed to say this, but I'm going to tell you, I've been doing this for almost 30 years. And that is the worst apartment or home or dwelling that I've ever seen. It's like she's purposely breeding roaches. She had garbage bags in the apartment but didn't take them out. You have people like that. Mental sickness, spiritual issues. It's a swirl of the combination of both. There are some demonic people out here who are stuck in certain mindsets. And I'm going to tell you, within the last couple of days, some things, I'm not going to say a physical thing that I saw, but a spirit was trying to keep me from doing the work that I have to do online and in other areas of my life. Yeah, trying to get me to sleep all the time. Mrs. Scurv was up at the property and I had to go to the store and pick some things up. I came in, I just laid down for 5 minutes. It was 2 hours and I slept. I know the part of it that's me, and I know the part of it that's not me. And then whatever it was has been working on me, but I'm not going for it. I'm going to wear you out and the person that sent you. Your brand of voodoo don't work. You better go find somebody else to pay them more, but to get the good stuff. Anyway, yeah, let me run now. I've earned my sleep. We were out here for 2 hours and 19 minutes, minus the time that we were shut down. So I know it is what it is. And yes, I've always got away from saying that, but it's true. It's true. Because of my big mouth. You know? Yeah, McGenre phase. We got to talk about that. I want to go into the deep things that we share. We ain't going to skim the surface. I want to go deep, and I want us to help our people with this information. And some say, well, you can't really say everything because they don't listen. Right now is the time to break away. If it's toward the end of the fight and I start hitting you with combinations that we waited to hit you with and you figured out, it's too late. I'm hitting you with them. So if you know what it is, it don't matter. We're aware of it and we know where it's coming from. Yeah. A lot of things that happen, Queen Red Pill, it's really, really strange, but I know what it is. And I don't blame everything on that, you know. But there's certain things that have nothing to do with anybody else, with me just in this apartment. Earlier this week, I started dropping things. Dropping a mug that I had, favorite mug, broken. Had a plate of food over by the counter, turned around, knocked it off, all the food on the floor. Boom. I'm like, what the hell? And I'm like, yeah, I'm talking to it. Like, you think you're going to frustrate me? I'm more determined now. Little things like that add up. So we have to be aware. We don't ever need to question our sanity. Pastor Clam in the house. I won't say which name. We'll keep that secret. Okay. She put it out there. And yeah, when we have those conversations that don't have any private information in them, and I put them up, I was going to ask for your permissions to put the name. I did today, but I'm not trying to hold back from any credit going to who you are because you all contribute to the pool of everything. I'm just glad that you're here with me, and that everybody gets along together that way. I'm just so happy about that, you know. But yeah, I've been saying I was going to go for the last 45 minutes. It's 2:22 and 43 seconds in the morning, and I'm just so glad that I had a chance to get this off because that sleep would not have been a good sleep if I stayed sleeping, right? But for those who want to chat some more or go into the conference line, if you choose it doesn't have to be after every single show. But if you have that kind of energy and whatever, fine. It's there. It's there when there's no show. Go there when there's no show. As long as there's more than one person there to talk, fine. So let me get ready to run. I hate to because I'm zoned right now, but I know I'll pay for it tomorrow. I have to go, like I said, to a very busy part of Accra where they sell a lot of industrial things and building materials. We have to get some electrical wiring, bring that back. There's a gentleman that wants me to videotape a little function. I may have to be late for that. If we leave early and come back, I can do it, and I will do it. The gentleman who was at the So Smooth restaurant and club, he wants me to do something for him. I'll do it, and whichever way, it'll all work out. I'm just gonna get some sleep, get up and get something to eat, and start the whole day. Cameras blazing. All right, y'all. Anyway, hit that number if you want. I'm gonna play a song or two. And we're going to do our thing. Much love, everybody. Peace.
Why are we called Negroes? Why are we deaf, dumb, and blind? Why is everybody making progress, yet we seem to be lagging so far behind? Why are we mistreated? Why are we in this condition, stripped of our names, our language, our culture, our God, and our religion? Here in America, all of our religious training has been gotten by the preacher. He has told us of a heaven way up in the sky that we can't enjoy now, but rather after we die. But all of the years that we're living, for us there's nothing but hell, pain, torture, and misgiving. Yet the Bible speaks of a heaven filled with material luxury, which the white man and the preacher has right here, so we see. So my friend, take it for what it's worth. Your heaven and your hell is right here on this earth. So let's check back into history, which rewards all research and tells us plainly. Before the white man gained entry to the East, he was living in the caves of Europe, a ravenous beast, eating juniper roots and eating flesh raw, till God sent Moses to civilize him and teach him the law. Then, following Marco Polo, an explorer, he gained entry into Asia and Africa. From China he took silk and gunpowder. From India he took jute, manganese, and rubber. He raped Africa of her diamonds and her gold. From the Mideast he took barrels of oil untold. Raping, robbing, and murdering everything in his path. The whole black world has tasted of the white man's wrath. So my friend, it's not hard to tell. A white man's heaven is a black man's hell. Before we came to America, we were living in the East. By the Nile River, we were living in luxury, enjoying freedom, justice, and equality. We wore silken robes and slippers of gold. We were the wealthiest and the wisest people, I'm told. Now we are the poorest of the poor. Nobody wants us at their door. So my friend, it's easy to tell. White man heaven, black man hell. When the white man came to America, He told the Indian, I am your white brother. He said, red man, I'll treat you the best. Yet and still he pushed the Indian further west with his white woman and firewater. With tricks and lies he stole America. The original owner of this nation is cooped up on a reservation. So my friend, it's easy to tell. White man heaven is black man hell. He needed someone to work the land. His back was too weak. He needed you, black man, so he commissioned Sir John Hawkins to commit the world's most grievous sin, to take a man who's born to be free and bring him down to slavery, to sell a man as merchandise, on his body put a price. Oh, my friend, it's easy to tell. White man heaven is black man hell.
We ain't going to end it now. I just missed someone on the screen because the way I was angled, the microphone kind of blocked it because I'm not in front of the camera now. I am, but I'm not showing myself because I got shoes on. I got on the shoes. It's hot out here. But anyway, the camera's turned down. Whoever wanted to come in and talk, feel free to come on in. If you wanted to rock it for a while, feel free to do that. Just because I had the truck come out and played the song doesn't mean I'm going to end it. I didn't want to make you think I was ignoring you, whoever wanted to come in. And I'm going to put that link in there again, give a few more moments. If I hope they didn't leave. A lot of folks left because they thought that was ended and whatnot. But I never want to, I want everybody to get their fill. So whoever it was, because I saw the other box, and as soon as my eye glanced, it blink, it hung up. So if not, I guess we can go to the conference line, and let's see how that works. Going once, going twice, going three times. If you want to come on in, mixed genre, master glam, whatever, we can do it on the conference line. I'll go there for a little while and then I'll go to sleep because I really am tired. I'm feeling it though. I just hate to miss, anyone who wanted to come on and share their thought, because you might forget it next time, right? So anyway, anybody want to contact me? Everything is scrolling on the bottom, and that's a good thing. That's what's happening. Let me see over here. Am I still? Yeah, I'm still live on Rumble. Yeah, I am, I think. Let me see how that's going. Okay. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Still live over there. They got an earful tonight. You're welcome to leave your scathing comments over there if you want. I'll come back with something a little more scathing and informative. So I take it nobody wants to come on in. It's cool. I want to thank you all for holding it down. And let me just play another little song and we'll end up coming on over to the let me see this comment section here. Yeah. Okay. We'll go on over there. I'll just play one more song. I hate to just cut it off like that. are going a little softer this time. Yeah, I know mixed genre Faves loves this song, so I'm gonna play it.
Take it away, take it away, feeling too good to me. Chilling all day, all in your space is where I wanna be. Here in this room, what did you do? I just can't get enough. Too caught up in your love. I've been trying to forget, but you won't let me. And my brain wants you. I've been thinking for myself, asking for help, but nothing works on you. Yeah. You always make me feel like, oh yeah. You never leave my life, oh yeah. You're the reason I'm going out. I just can't stop thinking about you. All that I crave when you're away, do any space, maybe your weakness. Give it, we take, love that we make, it's my favorite drug. So caught up in your love.